What's up guys, this is Miasin and today we'll be reviewing, I think, like the top 35 best engines or something that I could get my hands on for this format post-Supreme Darkness. I don't even know why I keep saying this, it's obviously post-Supreme Darkness. Anyways, before we go any further, friendly reminder of course to smash the like and subscribe button, but most importantly, check out my Crystron spreadsheet, and just in case you've never heard about the promo, here it is. So just in case you didn't know much before, the spreadsheet has absolutely all the info you need if you are planning on building the Crystron deck, which is the best deck that is coming out of Supreme Darkness. My spreadsheet features visual support, which includes images and videos while being easy to understand, regardless of whether or not you had prior experience with the deck. It comes with 50 combos that show the most optimal lines when you are interrupted, but also through hand traps such as Ash, Imperm, every Molchemy monster, Dimension Shifter, as well as Artifact Lancia. Best part is, every combo comes with their own notes so that you can understand what's going on. This spreadsheet also comes with a YCS ready decklist containing my in-depth reasoning on every card and ratio so that you don't get confused and know exactly what to buy. And if you ever encountered issues with sighting patterns, I got you, because I also cover going first and going second sighting patterns against 15 decks of the metagame. This spreadsheet also covers some alternative techs and engines that could be worth exploring the deck, as well as their pros and cons. Having access to the spreadsheet also grants you access to an ever-growing Discord community of like-minded Crystron players, and also access to me, where I can answer specific questions and share updates with you. Speaking of updates, I'm even willing to add additional sections and combos to the spreadsheet if I'm asked to, and you won't have to pay again to benefit off of these updates. I'll be fully honest with you, if you're interested in Crystron, this spreadsheet will not only save you hundreds of hours of theory and practice, but also a lot of money. You won't have to make unnecessary purchases since you'll already have access to an optimal deck list, and you're not gonna have to spend your days and nights coming up with combos. Also, every time you forget about a combo, you can just go back to the spreadsheet and check it out to refresh your memory. If you're interested in the spreadsheet, all you have to do is PayPal me $20 US, and make sure to state your Gmail account in the transfer so that I know who to share the spreadsheet with. If you forgot to state your Gmail in the transfer, don't worry, just email me a proof of payment with your Gmail, and I'll share the spreadsheet with you as soon as I can. Unless I'm sleeping, I should never take too long to grant you access to the spreadsheet, so don't worry about the delay. The specs of the spreadsheet alongside all the steps to buy it are at the top of the description, so please check it out as soon as you can. Anyways, with that said, let's get on with the video. Absolutely beautiful. Like I said, really recommend looking into the deck because it is extremely good, but let's get into this video. So the first engine is the Raziel engine. This is just overall playing Raziel cards in your deck. It can be Raziel in Mitsurugi, or I guess kind of like the other way around, Mitsurugi in Raziel. Whatever, I don't really know what's an engine at this point. Like, is it a Raziel deck featuring Mitsurugi? I really don't know, and I really don't care. But yeah, the Raziel engine obviously is extremely broken. You can splash this in a bunch of decks actually, just like 3x, one sword, and maybe that's it, or like one sword, one ice, one, I don't know, probably not like the node and the quick play and the field spell and everything, but like a very small Raziel package can just serve as like extra board breakers and extra just juice cards in your deck. So if you don't really need your extra deck too much, and if you don't really care about the restriction of rank 4s only, this is really broken for you. Anyways, the Millennium engine. This one's actually pretty good. It's a little better than mid, just because the Millennium cards, they don't really play into Molchemy Perillia. You're not, like I said, summoning anything from the hand. You're placing them from the hand in the spell and trap zone, and then you're summoning them from the spell and trap zone. The issue is that right now, they don't really lead to anything. Like, Sengenjin is the level 8, and then there is the Wedju something BS, I don't care. That one's level 6. I think that's the Golem. And then the Shield is level 5. Shield is actually the worst one in the Millennium engine, which is funny because in the actual deck, it's actually really good. Sengenjin is by far the best. And then the Wedju, whatever, that's like the second best, just because you gotta search the field spell, and that card is kind of like a neg 1, because then you gotta place a monster card from the hand of the spell and trap zone if you want to be able to place the Sengenjin. So yeah, a little frustrating, but with one single card, so anything except the Shield, you can get access to, yeah, either two big monsters or 3 monsters, depending on which starter it is. If it's the Sengenjin, I believe it is the best one out there. Actually, I think every path leads to Rome. Yeah, hold on a second. No, the field spell is worse, I think. Whatever. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a decent engine. If Curious, the Link 3 Lightsworn monster, ever gets unbanned, this engine is the nuts. But at the current moment, there's still a little bit of room for more innovation with this engine. The full armored engine is just so bad. I don't like it. It's not like garbage. Obviously, if your deck can play it, then it can add some extra interruptions, but it doesn't really add any extra depth just because the armored Xyz cards, they're garbage. They really do nothing. It's just the Xyz monsters themselves are fantastic, but every single time you draw any of the spell and trap cards that you gotta search for your rank 5, it feels so bad just because those cards aren't good. It's just that they allow you to like evolve your monster into like a better monster. You can argue the trap card is not too bad, but that's about it. And yeah, you can play this in like Goblin Biker. That's kind of about it. Unchained is... I mean, it's not bad. Actually, if anything, I would actually upgrade it. Maybe last format, I would have placed it in mid, but now I'm gonna place it in Could Be Insane just because you can maybe play this with like a Fiendsmith Unchained deck with Abaoku, like a good stuff Fiend deck. And I could see it doing wonders. This card is, I mean, this engine is good because Abaoku is remarkable. Okay, branded as an engine, not really. I can't really see it. I just think it's like worse than Raziel as an engine. If it's like 3 branded fusion, 1 Fallen of Albaz, like what are you splashing this in? Like Voice's Voice? I think you're better off with like 3 X and 1 Sword and Voice's Voice. So I just think this is not like fantastic, but it's not garbage either. Shuttle Fusion is anywhere between like 2 niche and mid. I mean, just because it's like a going second package, it's not garbage. Again, it's kind of like a foolish burial. Like in Crystron, for example, you can send the water like a Smyger, and then like Clifford Nesh Shuttle Genius, and then you can negate something. Well, you can prevent a monster from activating its effect, and then Smyger gets your starter, gets your plays going, and then Anoya Tillis doesn't do jack shit on the field, but still, it's cute. And then if you're playing a light or dark deck or something, maybe this card could be better, but it's only really worth playing going second, going first, unless you're playing like the actual Shuttle deck. This card is kind of copium, unfortunately. The Shark Engine, I mean, at the current moment, it's probably not like optimal, but obviously Raziel can play the Shark Engine, so I'm not gonna underestimate it too much. Punk, I really do not recommend at the current moment. It doesn't do anything. It does do a lot, but it's just not worth playing at all. It really adds like no real value to your deck, unless it's like Goblin Biker. So you know what? Actually, it's not that garbage. So yeah, sure. Primite, this is probably top tier in Fiendsmith. It's probably like one of the worst engines in top tier, just because there's other broken engines out there, but still very good, obviously. And another barrel or either barrel, whatever, that just made the engine even better. Fiendsmith, yeah, that's probably like the best engine in the game right now with Mitsurugi in Raziel. Oh, Raziel, again, really don't care. But yeah, the Fiendsmith engine is obviously broken. Moving on, we have the Ogdoadic engine, which I think absolutely could be insane. The issue with Ogdoadic and Alien is that I don't know how to play them correctly. So it's not like my opinion really matters too much in here, but I think these cards are really frustrating. And if you never really read them, you are in a world of hurt because there are so many cards out there, there's so many effects, there's so many cards that kind of just force you to ash them, like Snake Rain. What are you doing? Are you ashing it? I hope so. And then everything else resolves now, so you're kind of screwed. Yeah, it's really scary to play against this deck. And if you don't have something like Mocha Meows, bro, they're reviving back like infinite monsters from the grave. They're doing so much. It's really scary. Sky Striker, it's a decent engine. It's actually probably one of the best ones in here. It got a huge downgrade since last format, just because now there's Twins of the Eclipse, so now your Widow Anchor doesn't really beat Detonator anymore. They can just self-destruct, and then that's a nice Widow Anchor you got there. It basically does nothing. Nightmare, the Kashtira engine, this is actually really good. Such a good engine. Huge fan. It's because Unicorn is broken, because extra decks right now are super tight, like against Malice, who remove their White Binder, and then their deck sucks, or like their Hearts of Crypture. Red Ransom maybe less so, but obviously you got like 1 Unicorn on your turn, 1 Unicorn on your opponent's turn potentially, and the Kashtira Birth is also broken against the Fiendsmith cards. You know, they activate Engraver, and then they activate Tract, and then they activate Luri, and then on the Resolution, that's a spell card. So then you go Birth, Banish the Engraver, the Tract, and the Luri. That's like a neg infinite for them. And obviously if you take away their one of Requiem, that's definitely a fantastic Fiendsmith engine you got there. This engine is broken. Obviously, Kashtira Fenrir is remarkable as well, and it's also good going second. Obviously, this belongs in the top tier section. Danger, it's maybe like mid. It loses so hard to like Perulia, and it means that you also don't really play like the hand shop, like any hand shops, but you can play board breakers. But I can't really think of like too many decks that can play the Danger engine. There are some cool things that you can do, like Tsuchinoko and Jackalope can make Cherubini, and obviously Nessie and another level 7 can make Dracosack into Cherubini. So if your deck can abuse Cherubini, so if it's like Goblin Biker, like Phantom Knight, or even Crystron, really, that could be really interesting. The Danger engine is not necessarily bad, it's just, it might add a lot of weaknesses to your deck if your deck, you know, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Metal Morph, yeah, that's not really like an engine, really. It's just like one monster, one shot, but obviously it's dog shit, so it's always gonna be there. Horus engine is not great. I don't like it, but it's still better than like most of these engines. Obviously, like the Armored Xyz engine is like super niche, so that's the reason why it's there. Horus, way more generic, and that doesn't make it that great either. I think the Shark engine is better than the Horse cards, because at least this is like Raziel combo, whereas this, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, Zombie Vampire, but then you can get unlucky, and then your opponent can get lucky, right? So there's always a way you can get cooked. And also, if you draw a bunch of Horus monsters, you're very unhappy. So yeah, happy really doesn't deserve its name. The Invoked engine is about to be broken. Or, no, actually, no, that's not true at all. Actually, forget the last 10 seconds of your existence. The Invoked engine is about to be playable. That doesn't necessarily make it great. It's also a fusion-based engine, so, again, not much to say. But the reason why I said that is because in Blue Eyes, you can go normal summon the Alistair and then search Invocation, link off into the Blue Eyes Link 1, and then, you know, search Mausoleum, send Blue Eyes, and then make Makaba, and then beat Nibiru. It's not, like, total trash. There's definitely some room for potential, but as it currently stands with, like, the current card pool, I think there's better things to do than explore this engine. The Primate engine is infinitely better in Blue Eyes. Phantom Knight, okay, yeah, alright. This one is also very niche, and actually worse than the Armored Xyz because it's more bricks. So yeah, you know what? Actually, that's the worst one here, for sure. Ryugi is garbage, a huge amount of bricks. This is, yeah, honestly, you know what? I'm actually gonna downgrade Phantom Knights to here. Ryugi, if anything, is better just because your end boards, at the very least, are broken. Whereas Phantom Knight, it's like infinite bricks to do like set Fogblade, and then like Rusty plays, and like, you just, it makes me want to vomit. Just stop. Okay, Yubel engine. Just like destroy Spirit of Yubel to summon Yubel. Yes, you heard that right. As an engine, it's not really good anymore. Yeah, so it's probably like here, maybe. It's still not too bad. You know, you beat Ash, but then you gotta play like 3 good cards and 2 bad cards, or I guess with Terraforming, it's 4 good cards. But then you can, you know, start playing set rotation in your deck. That could make sense. So, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it really depends on your philosophy and your deck. If your deck, like, folds to, like, an Ash, this could be an option worth looking into. And it could also make sense in, like, a deck that plays, like, Diabellstar, because then you got, like, your Yubel monster on the field that you summon off of Spirit that you can just pitch for Diabellstar. Or, like, the spell card, like, the field spell itself, and then you can link off with the Yubel, you can make a link to, and then you make Phantom of Yubel, etc. There's definitely some cool things. Holy shit, almost died. There's some cool things that you can do with this engine. Azamina engine, it's not garbage. It's at least playable in White Forest, so I'm actually gonna have to put it there. Maybe, actually, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but I don't like it in Crystron, actually. Again, if you had access to my spreadsheet, you would know how I feel about literally everything for Crystron. I literally spent like 300 hours on it, and I'm not capping when I say that Crystron is insane. Trust me when I say that. Anyways, the Silhouette Rabbit and Azaroon, or the Silhouette Trap, whatever, obviously not bad, and you can negate the summon of, you know, Excite on Night, Detonator, you can destroy some things. You can negate the summon of Red Ransom against Malice. Honestly, very underrated. I would definitely put it there. It's absolutely... No, it's great, honestly. I don't know why nobody's really playing it anymore. Oh, I know why. It's a Link monster, and people are playing Raziel or Malice, so yeah, they can't really summon this to conveniently. Okay, Nadir Servant Package. Yeah, this is kind of broken, huh? Yeah, this is a little too good. So this is insane in Raziel Mitsurugi. It got to the point where everybody is playing this at this point. You search Maximus, and because of the fact that everybody is anticipating Maximus, some people are playing targets in their extra deck now to counter that. If you're playing the Fiendsmith deck, you can send DS E-Ray in something, and then, you know, you shuffle back something on your opponent's something. No, you send something on your opponent's field to the graveyard. I think Rex Tremende also has an effect to, like, I don't know if it's like search or recycle, I forgot. You can benefit off of your opponent's of your opponent playing this card, which is funny. Also, if you play like Garura as either a Super Poly target or Nadir Servant target or Ultimate Slayer target, that's also something to keep into consideration. Very good card though, and very good engine overall. Even the Maximus is not always bad to draw. Like if you draw X Raziel, you send a monster and then you banish it for the Maximus, so yeah, it's always live. I think it's just really good overall. It's really good in Raziel Mitsurugi, and it's also good in Voice's Voice, which, funny enough, can actually play both of these engines. Yeah, that's interesting. Anyways, Adventure Token, or Brave Token, whatever, it's not total dog shit, but there's a lot of bad cards that you gotta play. It's very similar. This is like the main thing that you're gonna see with almost every engine in here. Usually, the good engines are the engines that are just like very clean overall, you know, good ratio of good to bad cards. You don't have to play too many, like, horrendous cards to make it work, or, you know, it doesn't take up your normal summon. So that's the reason why Fiendsmith, broken, Raziel, broken, Nadir Servant, broken, Kashtira, fantastic, Primite, great, And then you got like, you know, the very like bricky ones here, you know, Ryugi, freaking Phantom Knight, Metal Morph, where every card is a brick. None of the cards are good with the Metal Morph cards. Literally none of them do anything for you. Ostinato is insanity. Sorry, no, I keep saying Ostinato. It kind of is Ostinato. It's Ostinato with Refrain and either, you know, another level 4 like Cannon or something. Or the couplet with the Concerto, I think that's the name of the spell card that Fusion summons. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this engine is extremely good. And again, there's so much untapped potential with the Melodious engine. Like, yeah, there's infinite things that you can do with this. And nobody's really trying to, like, explore it. But you can play, like, an engine... Well, you can play a deck that only has engines in it. You can play, for example, Melodious Fiendsmith. Or Melodious Kashtira. Never mind, that doesn't work. Obviously, Ostinato, you gotta control no monsters. Kashtiras, you gotta control no monsters. Maybe Ostinato, sorry, Melodious Primite, that could also make sense. Melodious Raziel, that definitely could make sense. Definitely a lot of potential for sure. I think it's an incredible engine. And honestly, I kind of want to place it at the very bottom of top tier. I don't really think it's like super wrong. It's just such a strong engine. Like, there's not really much to say about this. You know, every card is good also, like, except for like maybe one or two if you're playing like Couplet and Concerto, or if you're playing Cannon. Obviously, you always gotta play at least one bad card to make your engine work, except if you're playing like Raziel, then, you know, almost everything is good. Yeah, huge fan of it. Nemesis engine, I mean, look, if you can get to Protoss, you are in business, my friend, because Protoss Culling Light is Exodia against Fiendsmith. It's semi-Exodia against Raziel, depends on the day, depends on the mood, but it's really good against Raziel Fiendsmith. It kind of shuts them down. What are they gonna do? Like, summon Dual Drive, search something, and then pass turn? Yeah, nice deck. If you can call Dark against Raziel Mitsurugi, it's not bad, you know, no Mitsurugi combos at all. If you can call... I don't freaking know. If you can call Dark against Malice, it's really Exodia. Protoss is insane, so obviously there is no reason for me to like put this very low. Actually, it's probably gonna have to be in... it's not super generic. Maybe gonna have to be there. I have no idea. Goblin Biker engine. That's very niche, but, you know, it could work. If you're playing this in a rank 3 Axis deck, I have no idea. Other than Goblin Biker itself, I really couldn't think of anything. Okay, Toei engine in the White Force deck, I think is a little mid. It's not garbage at all, but I think you're better off just playing White Forest as a Mina with the Fiendsmith engine. I don't think you need the Toei engine anymore in White Forest. And I said that last time, and I said a bunch of other things that were actually wrong, so I take it back, but I don't take this back. I still think that the Toei engine is not worth playing in an optimal White Forest deck. Even though it's really fun, it's really cool, it's really cute. The Toei cards... They're awesome, I love them, but I think you don't really need them, at least right now. If someone really can come up with like a super spicy innovation, I am all ears. Anyways, the Runic engine, this one is not good. It's a little too slow. Actually, I'm probably just gonna put in Do Not Recommend, even though it's like not complete garbage. Honestly, at this point, it's probably better than everything here. You know, you lose out your battle phase, but, you know, that's kind of it. And finally, the Bestial engine. This is remarkable, super good. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to be doing something like this. It's really representative of what engines people are playing in their decks. Actually, yeah. Raziel, by the way, again, this is not the Raziel deck, but rather the Raziel engine, a very small engine. Otherwise, like, you know, it's gonna have to be there. But yeah, Fiendsmith engine, one of the most popular ones for sure, if not the most popular one. Bestial engine, super popular. Lubellion gaining a lot in popularity. Nadira Servant package, super good. Kashtira engine, very good. You know, we're seeing even the field spell, Fenrir Unicorn Birth, and then the Primate engine with another barrel that got even better. And then the Raziel engine as well as the Melodious engine. So a lot of great engines that you can look into this format. If you want to be a little more creative and just make your garbage deck slightly less garbage. It still sucks, obviously, if it's not Crystron. The only way you can be playing a real good deck this format is if you're playing Crystron, and if you are, of course, if you have access to my Crystron spreadsheet. Otherwise, I don't really know what you're doing, but you're doing a misplay, my friend. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Peace.